I'm Dr. Bodkin. I'm the owner of the Vision Center at Seaside Farms. It's in Charleston, South Carolina, for anybody who's familiar with the area. We're going to talk a little bit about MaximEyes.com today. So what are we going to discuss? First, we're going to start with the easy stuff. And then we're going to go into how you can save a lot of time. And when you save all that time, you're going to make more money. And then lastly, we'll talk a little bit about personalization. So the easy stuff. So it's completely web-based. You just go right on a browser, pop it in there. It does work best on Chrome, but you can use it on a tablet, desktop. You can even use it on your phone. I don't recommend that. I had to do that once. It was awful, especially for a 45-year-old presbyope. It's not fun. But log in from anywhere. It's great. Does that mean it's safe and secure? Obviously. Like, we wouldn't do this if it wasn't. So they have all their encryptions on their end. They take care of all that. If you want more information on that, scan that QR code. It'll list all those things that they do to keep it safe and secure so you don't have to worry about it. But how easy is it? You know, that's the next question. This is software. Is it going to be easy to learn? Again, obviously, yes. If it wasn't, would I be up here talking about it? No. If you can use a smartphone, you can do this. It's easy as can be. All right, so the fun stuff now. We're going to save you some time. So first thing you need to do when you're in the system, set up your normals. It takes very little time to do this, but once you do, it's going to save you a ton of time. Makes everything one click, fills everything in for you. You can do it on a lot of different ways. You can set it up for the entire encounter. You just click normal, fills everything in. If you just want to fill in a normal for pupils that you're measuring, you can hit normals for that. So you can set it up however you want to. If a doc in my practice likes to do things differently than I like to do it, they can set it up their way as well. We each have our own normals, and we can click them that way. So just kind of show you what that looks like. This is just a standard new patient encounter. It's just one of the tabs. That's a lot of boxes on there. I could go in and click on each one of those, fill it in manually. But instead, I'm going to hit this little normal button at the top. I'll show you guys. Right over there. You click that. Voila. Everything is filled in for you. If you need to make a change, go for it. But everything's set and ready to go for that new patient. If you've got an established patient, even better. They've got all their stuff filled in already. You go click from previous, and it fills it all in, ready to go. What about when we're billing and coding? You guys were talking about that's what you guys do a lot of. At the end of the exam, it's really easy for the docs, just a couple of clicks. You can type if you want to. I don't recommend it. But here's what that kind of final screen looks like. A lot of places you got to fill in information. First thing you're going to do is go to your diagnosis. You'll see all those diagnoses already pulled in there. That's a nice code complete function. So it's pulling data from my encounter, and it's pulling keywords and things like that we've set up. And if it sees those keywords, it'll recommend codes for me to use. And then I can just click on them, and it goes right into the diagnosis codes and my assessments. Looks like that. Pretty easy. Click, click, click. Then we got to put some plans in there. Again, these are things that we set up ahead of time. They're per diagnosis codes, so it's not going to give me every plan I've ever done. It's going to set up plans for myopia, presbyopia, things like that, cataracts. I can set those up. Whatever my diagnosis codes are, I can set that up. It's going to show me just those plans, which is easy. I can go in and click as many or as few as I need to. Whatever I need to say, it's there. Click, click, pulls it right over, ready to go. And then to the fun part, we got to put some billing codes in there, right? So I could go through and manually do this, 92004, 92015, or right up here, I got a nice little code bundle. Set that up ahead of time. Hit that, it pulls in all my codes, right? Now this is easy. This is a nice patient pay patient, no insurance. Love that. That's our best patient, right? If they had insurance, it would show up. And we could say, oh, put the 92004 to IMED, 92015 to IMED, keep the opto screener, right there with patient pay. We're all done. Now we can transfer that. Everybody in the office now knows what we did. It's all there ready for them to go. If it's an established patient, it saves you even more time. You guys noticed how I had to go through kind of my diagnosis codes, my plans, had to kind of go through that a little bit separately. If it's a previous patient, I have this nice little history button up there. I don't know if you guys see me circling that. I can click on that, and it pulls up every previous encounter I've ever done with that patient, what my diagnosis codes were, what my billing codes were, what my assessments and plans were. And I just pick the one I want to copy, and I hit that all button. Voila, everything is in there. Now, obviously, this patient is going to have a new code because that's the last exam I did. I would have to change that to a 92014. Simple, click, click, ready to go. So, those 3 things. Not many things I showed you, just 3 simple ones you can do. Saves you a ton of time in the exam lane. You're going to save, conservatively, 5 to 10 minutes a chart doing it that way. So on a typical day, that's going to save you 80 to 160 minutes of charting time. That's a lot. So what are you going to do with all that time? Well, I know some of you stay 2 hours late to finish your charts. Guess what? You've got 2 hours of your life back. Right? You can go home, have dinner with the kids finally, something like that. If you want to stay at the office for 2 hours and not charting, well, that's fine too. You can still watch Netflix or something. You don't have to go home, but you could. The other thing you can do, use that time wisely. Make more money. See 2 or 3 more patients a day. If we just take old MBA metrics, those 2 patients a day, that's generate about $600 in revenue every day. Or you can think about that as $3,000 a week, or $150,000 a year. I don't know about you guys, $150,000 a year, that's a big number. We would all use another $150K if we could, right? What are some other ways to save time with the system? Staff love these. First one we're going to talk about is forms integration. So if you have welcome forms that you have your patients filling out now, hopefully they're not doing it on paper anymore, but if they are, you can now digitize that, right? Have them fill it out. It'll copy right into the system. You don't have to sit there and type it all in. Oh, Miss Smith, you know, her birth date is this. I got to put that. It's all going to come in there. Medications, whatever you put on that form. You can customize these forms, right? Depending on what they're coming in for, have a different form. My established patients, they have a different form than my new patients. They don't need to refill out all that information about what surgeries they had, what medications they were taking. We'll check all that. They don't need to fill all that stuff back in. These forms, you can also do them in office if they don't fill them out ahead of time, which they never will. Like, I think about 20% of our patients do, and we ask them all the time to do it. They get to the office. You can put these on a tablet, iPad, whatever you have in the office. They can click through it there. That way it's still electronic. You're still not using a paper form that you have to transfer the data from. It's great. So next one that saves us time in the exam room, also reduces errors, refraction systems. So if you have digital phoropters, that's going to generate data. You can pull that right into MaximEyes. So if you look at, this is my typical refraction screen. That's a lot of empty boxes on there. Again, just one little simple click pulls up data that I've transferred from my system already. So that's everything I can choose from. I click this little box on the left and import my data. And there you see my lens meter data at the top, my refraction in the middle, their VAs come through, auto refractor. My Ks are on a different screen. Those come through as well. Just on this screen alone, that one little click, 25 boxes got filled in without me having to do anything except click, click. And then this last one, that's time-saving wise, is my favorite one. We do a lot of contact lenses in my practice. CLX is who we use to kind of order through and manage all that for us, and it integrates seamlessly right into MaximEyes for us. So pretty simple kind of things to pull up. It has my inventory built in, pulls right from CLX. I choose those lenses. As soon as I choose a lens, it's going to make me fill in the parameters. Those parameters are built in as well. I can't choose something that doesn't come in. So we all know these toric lenses, they don't come in 275 sills. I can't just type that in. It's not going to let me do that. I can only choose up to 225, which is great. Now, from a staff standpoint, over there in the bottom right, if you need to order that trial in for a patient, real simple, click order trial. When you transfer this at the end, it's going to create that optical order for us. Looks like that. That's already in there. Staff hasn't done anything. Over there it says ready to order. That tells my staff, guess what? You've got to submit this order because we need to get this lens into the office. And then the real magic happens. They click on that order. The only button they have to push is that big blue one on the right that says submit the order. As soon as they do that, CLX takes care of everything for us. That's it. Nothing else we have to do. We don't have to load a patient demographic into a system. We don't have to copy and paste, anything like that. One-click ordering. So efficient, saves your staff time, loads of time throughout the day. You can automate that process too. There's a setting where you can say, submit all my orders to CLX at a certain time of day. If you know that your distributor needs it at 3 o'clock, submit them at 2:55. Batch it, takes more clicks out of there. Just let the system do it for you. So what's your staff going to do with all that extra time? I know I'm going to ask my staff to do. More work, right? Lastly, ways to make the system your own. There's a lot of ways to personalize this. There's so many ways to do it. Work with the team there. They will help you with that to really make it look, feel, work the way you want it to do. One of the easiest ones to set up is the encounters types. Patients coming in, they're not all the same. You're not seeing them for the same thing. Make it easy on yourself. This is just a sample of my complete exam without contacts. You'll notice on the left-hand side, I've got 5 tabs that kind of take me through the exam. I set those up in the order of how I like to do things for an exam. So I can just tab right through. If you want to make it one big long page, go for it. You can scroll to your heart's content. It's up to you. That's what you're doing. It's yours. There's a list of all mine that I set up. I try to keep it simple. You know, there's not that many there, but they handle everything I need to do. You can pick and choose what you want to do there. This is my RX checks, CL checks. Very simple. I don't have all the extraneous stuff that we don't need to do for an RX check, right? This is one that I set up on my own. My dry ones, you'll see that box there on the right says DEQ5. That's an element I created. We went in, we do a DEQ5 questionnaire for our dry patients. That's how we track and follow how they're doing. That's not one that's just built into the system automatically, so I went and built that in. I can create my numbers, I can create my normals, my histories, all that stuff is there. I also created a form for this that we can send to the patient ahead of time. They fill it out. Great. It imports it right in here as soon as I hit import. Another paper form I got rid of. So when you're personalizing these things, we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier with the normals. They can be user specific. Spend some time with that. So with that, are there any questions? Don't be shy. If you have questions, obviously you can contact me. That QR code will just put you on an email to shoot to me, and I'll be glad to answer anything that you have at that point. So with that, make sure you visit our booth. It's right behind us, 577. Trevor and Brandon will be glad to take care of you guys.